Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs and On the Record from the offices of O'Brien and Levine Court Reporting Services. Jonathan Friedman alongside Mark Z.
John, great to be with you. It's been a very eventful day.
It has, and our next guests in the studio with us are John Tumilty and Rob Shea from Morse Barnes, Brown and Pendleton. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you
very much.
Happy to be here.
Thanks very much for coming in today and agreeing to be on the show. Tell us about the firm a little bit. I know that the firm's gone through some growth over the last decade or so. Tell us and our listeners a little bit about your firm and where your area of focus is.
Sure. Well, we've been around for 22 years. We started with a small group of lawyers that moved from downtown to Waltham, where a lot of the clients were, and decided to create a corporate law, business law boutique focused on the core legal needs of business. And that's the way the firm started. And over the course of time, the core legal needs of businesses was including more than just corporate law. And as the clients increased in numbers and sophistication, the firm added people. The growth has really been client-driven. So we added tax lawyers, we added intellectual property, licensing, contract lawyers, started a trademark practice, and over the 22 years continued to add practices that really we found necessary to meet the core legal needs of businesses. And I joined 11 years ago to add the employment law practice. Some of that work was done by the corporate lawyers for a while, and the firm realized that employment law had enough nuances and rules and regulations that it was important to bring some real expertise to the area.
Employment issues with startups and companies at all levels is just so prevalent today, and obviously working around the minefields of employment issues. So in your practice, you're involved in employment and labor, but I know you do a lot of, for example, separation agreements. You get involved in harassment situations. Can you tell us some of the areas you're helping these entrepreneurs and startups as well as the larger companies?
Sure. Now, our clients tend to be very, very smart people. They're entrepreneurs, and some of them are brilliant in their areas of focus. Their areas of focus doesn't include legal issues, and certainly doesn't include employment law. And employment law is very, very regulated, and there's a lot of areas where you slip up, particularly in the wage hour area. So there's a lot of very smart, well-intentioned entrepreneurs and small businesses that fall out of compliance, and sometimes leading to litigation. So, I mean, our job is to educate them,
Right.
Make sure they know what the rules are, evaluate their practices, bring them into compliance, and when they fall out of compliance, get them back in, and sometimes defend them in lawsuits.
Well, luckily, it sounds like you do the full gamut in that you're preventative, but obviously, if it comes to litigation, but it sounds like you really give a lot of advice on how to prevent situations.
That's right. When I was with the downtown firm before coming out to Morse 11 years ago, majority of what I was doing was litigation, claim defense, and that shifted a bit when I came to Morse because of the needs of the clientele, and because there was actually the opportunity to put in preventative measures, be more proactive. So we do devote a lot of our time to that, but we also have a claim defense or litigation practice.
Excellent. And now, John, what's interesting in terms of your practice, we talked before, you'd worked a large national firm, and now you were chair of the litigation department there, and now you're bringing that expertise to complement that corporate practice that your firm is very much known for. How have you found that?
I found it to be great. I had spent the last 23 years practicing in downtown Boston, and the last 17 years at an international firm where I was co-chair of the commercial litigation group and various other groups within the firm. And then I'm pretty new to Morse, Barnes, Brown, Pendleton. I have actually only been there 6 weeks, and
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's been a very nice change.
You picked the right point of your career not to travel into town every day.
I think
it's a cakewalk on 128.
I think that's right. I think I'd rather fight the 128 traffic than trying to find a place to park in downtown Boston with this winter. But I was fortunate enough to be approached by the firm, Morris Barnes Brown. As Bob said, they wanted to expand into business litigation, and I have a pretty extensive background in that. And so obviously I met with the people. It's a great culture, great firm, excellent lawyers. Everyone at the firm used to be either in-house or at one of the large firms downtown, which I think says something about the quality of the lawyers that are there and the quality of the firm. And not only has it been a good change for me, but it's been, I think, an excellent switch for my clients, because I'm still able to provide all the services that I was able to provide before, but sometimes in a more economical fashion, and a little bit more personal service, so to speak.